Hello, Cancer. Welcome to Dove and Serpent Tarot. My name is Paul. Thank you so much for letting me read for you. If Cancer is your sun, moon, or rising sign, this is your tarot card reading. Remember to hit the like button, leave a comment, consider subscribing to the channel, especially if this reading resonates with you. If there is anything you would like me to pray over, or meditate upon, or send positive energy toward, please let me know. Now, this is going to be a general reading, so try to be open and receptive to whatever may come through during our time together. I am merely the messenger. And I ask you to connect directly with each of these cards and use your own intuition to take you beyond the details that I might provide. And remember, Cancer, that the most important part of any tarot reading is you. And look at that Magician card. Beautiful energy. The Magician is so adaptable. The Magician is just so in tune. I feel like you are a pure conduit of the divine light. You know, I feel that you have a lot of good ideas. I feel that you're an excellent communicator. I feel like it's easy for you to build rapport with people. Okay? You seem to have figured out the trick, the knack for it, you know. So I want to see how this energy is going to benefit you. The Magician is a very complex card. It's your adaptability. It's the way that you're able to optimize whatever situation you're in. It's a high intelligence. It's your ability to communicate. It's your ability to sort of build rapport, build relationships, to make deals, to transact, to negotiate. It's your ability to learn, to teach. It's everything, really. It's however you are receiving the divine light and letting it pour forth from you as this pure, this clear channel of divine energy. Let's put this card into some context. Let's see what's going on here. Okay, we're going to use our Dove and Serpent spread. We got a 9 of Pentacles. Okay, I think that's very good. We've got a Princess of Cups, 5 of Swords, Hierophant. There's the idea of sort of, you know, learning and growing and teaching, and I think becoming a bit of an expert here, becoming the wise one here. It's kind of like the Magician matures into the Hierophant. Yeah. There's a lot of wisdom here. Then the Hierophant is sort of wisdom plus experience, you know. So I think that you're becoming a bit of a mogul, especially with the 9 of Pentacles there. In the future position, 6 of Wands. Anytime we get the 5, we're hoping for the 6, right? Because the 5 is the struggle, the uncertainty, the confusion. Right? This is victory, success. This is abundance. This is the pride that comes having conquered your own doubts, really. I think that's kind of what the 5 of Swords is talking about. You didn't always believe in yourself, Cancer. Once you started to, I think you figured out how to unlock that Magician, and now you are rising up to that level of Hierophant, of the expert, the master, the guru, the teacher. I think the mogul, right? And there's something transactional about this. This is a 9 of Pentacles. It's the card of gain. I think this maybe has to do with your position at work or in some kind of financial situation. I feel like you're really growing and evolving and leveling up. You're climbing the ladder all the way to the top somewhere, okay? Here we have a 4 of Swords. We've got the 8 of Swords. We've got the 10 of Swords. We've got the Hermit. Okay. The 5 of Swords is kind of, you know, we don't want to forget that this was ever there, right? Because if we let that air energy back in, we see what happens, right? If we get too complacent, then we let that energy of doubt back in, and this whole house of cards comes crumbling down. The hermit has to be, because see, the hermit could be either the result of this, or it could be the one that's resisting this, because it's kind of like we've got the Hierophant here, and in a way, this says that pride comes before a fall. Okay, so if you're the Hierophant, by having too much confidence, too much pride, a little bit of hubris and arrogance, it's going to lead to our downfall. And the Hermit is the Hierophant that has kind of been kicked out of the world, okay, in a certain sense. So let's not let that be the reality, right? Let's not make that happen. Let's look at this from a different way so that we can prevent that. Okay. Let's select our mystery card, bonus card, confirmation card. This is a random card from the Smith-Waite Tarot. This is a factor, infinite and unknown. And we're just going to set it down over here with Bubo, our mechanical owl right there. We're not going to look at that card until the very end. It will tie everything together, and it will give us the confirmation that we need. If you have a prediction for that card, put it down in the comments anytime you like. Okay, let's use our intuition. Okay, yeah, let's look around the room here. We've got major, major, major. And right now we're still the magician. It's this youthful Mercury kind of Hermes energy, right? That we can still do anything we want. We are the architect of our own reality. Okay, are we going up here to Hierophant, or are we going to go over here to Hermit? Okay, and it's interesting that we kind of see all the success that you're going to be achieving with the Nine of Pentacles. Let's say you're at work and you're starting from, you're starting out at the lowest position, entry-level position. You're working your way up. The more money you get, the more successful you get, the more proud of yourself you get, the more confident you get, the further our ego starts to swell. And we realize that we are the best of the best. You are the cream of the crop here, and you've risen to the top into that Hierophant energy. And as we do this, we start feeling as if nothing can touch us. Nothing can harm us. The self-doubt that you once had is over, never to return. Just forget about it. Well, we do that, and then I think our demons come back to haunt us with much more severity than they had before. This is a lot of air energy. Come on, we don't want that. Because that is going to bring about our downfall, and then we're going to be this old and wizened hermit in the forest sort of telling stories about our glory days, So we want to make sure that we can ascend this path, and we can balance our victory with our humility, that we can have our confidence, but we can also have that little bit of self-doubt. Maybe in this case, a little bit of Five of Swords is good. Better than 8 or 10. Because at least this is kind of that part of our mind that's going to check us a little bit. Say, well, wait a minute. You're not perfect. You can't do everything right all the time. Let me double check my paperwork. Let me make sure that I crossed all the T's and dotted all the I's and whatever other letters, Rather than just being like, I don't need that. I'm not capable of making mistakes, am I? No way, right? No, let's have that self-awareness. Let's keep a little bit of this. Okay? This is perfect. This is the best. This feels like a prophecy. Let's not ruin it. Let's not ruin it with this, okay? This is good. This is wow, okay? A lot of progress here. You're getting a lot of rewards, a lot of recognition. The magician is the star of the show. That you're being recognized for your talent. Maybe you're a comic, maybe you're a musician, maybe you're acting or something, right? You're getting paid to do what you do best, right? That you're figuring it all out, okay? This is good. And then we could be talking about career or creative endeavors. We could be talking about relationships even. Whatever it is that you're doing, whatever your purpose is, it doesn't matter how old you are. You could be a teenager, you could be in your hundreds, right? It's like you've discovered what you're good at, and you're doing it. You're out there in the world. You're living that way. You're living that life. You are that person. And I think that you're using your God-given talents. Yeah. And it's not just talent, it's skill, it's hard work. And you deserve to be compensated for it. And the Nine of Pentacles is either it's money, it's success, it's fame, it's fortunes, whatever the rewards are. It's you putting in effort and getting something back. Okay. And this is wonderful. And it's really, you're making a name for yourself. The Hierophant, you're becoming a household name, so to speak. And I think with the Princess of Cups underneath the surface here, this almost feels like the fulfillment of a childhood dream. Okay, because this is sort of a deep, under the surface, a childhood wish, childhood desire even, It just feels like it's from a long time ago. It's sort of, it got buried down underneath the surface somewhere. So for now, for you to be actually doing this now feels like a holy, you-know-what moment. Can't believe it. Gotta pinch myself, Because this is kind of like, it feels surreal. It feels like this is a figment of your imagination, but it's not. This is the fulfillment this is the reality now of something that you never thought possible. It's something you dreamed of, but never thought it would really manifest. Okay. And so this, like I said, this is kind of the perfect set of cards. We have really perfect balance. We have two major arcana energies. We have fire, water, air, and earth. Absolute perfection. This is a prophecy. Could go wrong, right? If we let in too much of this air energy, or not enough, right? If we ignore it, it's going to come back with a vengeance. But this is perfect harmony over here. The two major arcana energies, which really show that it's up to you to sort of mature this energy and to keep it going in the right way, a very balanced way, fueled by your dream, your will, your desire, right? This ultimate wish, your imagination, all this stuff is sort of pushing you upward. You're staying balanced by the fire and the air, and you're ascending into that Hierophant energy. You're becoming the master. You're becoming the guru, the mogul. You're becoming the expert of this, right? You're really achieving the absolute height of whatever this is. You're a stand-up comic, that you're going to be the GOAT, right? You're going to be just the number one comic in the world or whatever. I don't know if they have those kind of, I don't know who that would be anyway right now, but it doesn't have to be performance. It doesn't have to be a public thing. It doesn't have to be any kind of celebrity type of energy. But it's the idea that you've discovered sort of what you're good at, and you're working hard to achieve the very best that path has to offer. And as long as you stay balanced and stay aware and stay confident but humble, you're going to achieve the greatest heights. Okay? Maybe you don't want fame. Fortune would be nice. Maybe you don't want fame, It's sort of the logical culmination of that path. Whatever it is you're doing, you stay balanced, you're going to achieve the very best heights. Okay? But Five of Swords, we have to stay humble. The doubts that you had about yourself in the past, or the sort of the inner dialogue, we have to keep the inner dialogue going. Because sometimes the ego will just get so inflated where it's just like, I don't need to think about anything. I don't need to plan. I don't need to prepare. I don't need to work hard. I don't need to learn anything else. I don't need to try. Nothing can affect me. Nothing can harm me. We're not entertaining any sort of negative thoughts or opinions or doubts or criticism or anything like that. There's no inner dialogue happening other than the inner, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best, I'm the best. That's good. We need to believe in ourselves. We also need to keep that inner dialogue going. We need to be able to think and contemplate productively, constructively. Not as the Eight of Swords is showing us. We don't need to ruminate. Okay, we don't need to get stuck in the doubt that says, I'm the worst, I'm the worst, I'm the worst, I'm the worst. Okay, because then we're totally lost, right? But if we don't keep the windows open, the air inside is going to stagnate, okay? And it's going to breed more thought bacteria, I don't know. So we got to keep the breeze going. We got to be willing to think of new ideas. We've got to be willing to say, well, I screwed that one up. That wasn't smart. Let me think of something else. We've got to keep that inner dialogue going that says, I'm the best. Yeah, but how can I continue to improve? How can I continue to try to be the best that I can be? How can I learn? How can I grow? We got to keep asking questions. We have to keep challenging ourselves. And it really is a battle between the confidence and the sort of insecurity. And we need a little bit of both, I guess. Not so much the insecurity, but the realization that, yeah, I'm the best, but there's always somebody better, and I could always be better. I have room for improvement. We can hold both of those realities in mind at the same time. I think that's allowing us to really shoot straight up here and get to this. The Hierophant is an energy where you're going to be so good at this that you're going to be asked to teach others how to do it. You're going to be like the worldwide expert that everybody's going to call to be like, hey, can you come give a speech or a talk or a presentation or whatever? And maybe that's not something that you really wish to have, but that's the level of success, right? We got to talk about the path of the serpent. As we do this, I would like to ask for your subscription. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. Doesn't cost anything, supports the channel. I appreciate that. I've got another channel, Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories, so you can search in the YouTube search box for Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories, and then you can go check out that channel if you wish. All right. On the path of the serpent, general energy is the Four of Swords, which is usually a very good thing, right? Usually we're saying, oh, anytime we get a 5, we start looking for the 4. In this particular case, we don't want the 4. We don't want to be closed off to ourselves. We want to make sure that we have this inner dialogue going. We want the movement of the thought. We want the changing of our minds. We want to always be challenging ourselves. We want to be confident in what we're doing and say, this is the best decision I've ever made. But then we want to say, is it? Let's take a look at it. Let's think about it a little bit. These two cards make the air energy constructive. Over here, though, it's just breaking down, right? Too much air energy with nothing else behind it is disaster, but this is okay. This is the sort of challenging of ourselves that fosters growth, that fosters improvement and innovation and genius and ascendance. Okay? Not over here. Because over here, it is just air energy that leads to our downfall. And this one is really us being closed off to any other ideas, any sort of challenge, any sort of criticism. If you don't agree with me, then don't talk to me, right? We're not listening, we're not talking, we're just we're humming loudly with our fingers in our ears, and we're not open to anything new. And that's not really very Mercury. That's not very magician, is it? Right? The magician wants to always be developing new tricks, right? We think of a magician on stage. Has a few tricks that they know, and that's what they do. Every night, they play the same couple of songs. Every night, there's the same few illusions, magic tricks, or whatever that they do. And it may work for a time. It may work for the rest of their lives. They may be able to really make a living doing it. That's great, you know? I think for you, though, Cancer, staying in that state where you're not growing, you're not expanding, you're not challenging yourself, you're not learning anything new, you're just doing the same couple of tricks every night, it's going to eat at you. It's going to wear on you. It's going to lead us into a combination of 8 and 5 of swords. Right? It's going to be a lot of thinking, a lot of inner dialogue, but it's going to be, I'm the worst, I'm the worst, I'm the worst, I'm no good at it. It's going to really lead to, I think, like a depression. Okay. It's going to lead even to this idea of, I'm a one-trick pony. That I'm not the magician. I'm not creative. I don't deserve to be an expert. I don't deserve to be at the top of your field. I don't say an expert, but I just mean that you're really making a name for yourself with whatever you're doing. You're getting to the top of your field in some sense. Okay. But the Eight of Swords is that things have been stagnating, that I've got no ideas, I have no mojo, I'm not learning, I'm not growing, I'm not doing anything new. It's the same thing night after night after night after night. I'm a one-man band. I play the same song every night, and it's boring me, and it's probably boring everybody else too, right? And that, of course, is going to shatter our entire dream, and we'll end up just retiring from this and saying, I could have been a contender. We're just going to wander off into the woods, never to be seen from again. So we kind of need the 5. The 5 is an active number. It is a 5. It's an odd number. It's a function. Whereas even the 6. Whereas the 6, the 4, the 8, and the 10 are even numbers, right? They're stagnant. It's a state of things. It's things that are too much. It's just, there's nothing's going on here. There's no changes. There's no development. There's no innovation. There's no conversation. This is that breeze. This is that wind blowing all this dust out of here and getting some fresh ideas. We're keeping things going, keeping things moving, right? And this really could be about you, like continued education. This could be you about, if you're an expert guitar player and that's what you want to do, well, you got to keep learning, experimenting, trying new chord combinations or techniques, or learn a different style, or whatever it is. I don't know. You've got to always be learning and growing. And that's part of the Hierophant energy too, because we think if you're getting to be this good where you're going to teach other people, well, eventually someone's going to just surpass you anyway. If you want to keep this going, you've got to be the student as well as the teacher. You have to be the apprentice and the master at the same time. Okay. And so what we've got with the 5 is that active card, the odd-numbered active energy, the function of clearing out all this stagnant, all this dust, right? So we're bringing in new ideas. We're not ruminating on the things that are not working. And I think that we're realizing that if we don't continue to push forward and innovate, we are like the bird that has accepted its cage. And it's just kind of like we're performing for our peanuts now, and we're just doing what we do, and then we're getting the usual compensation for it. But we're not doing anything new. We're not expanding. We're not growing. We're not evolving or innovating. So this is the realization that we need to see in our lives where we've been doing that, where we've been sort of stagnating and just going through the motions, because of necessity, right? And that bird's going to sing for its bird seed because it's hungry, right? We've got to get out of that bird cage. And yes, maybe we're just flying into another bigger bird cage, but whatever. That's neither here nor there, right? And I think that by realizing this, we can always be pushing boundaries and transcending and improving and getting through one set of bars. And now we're in a bigger birdcage. Okay, great. Let's keep going. Let's do it again. Let's keep growing. Let's keep expanding, right? And then I think really the hermit turns into the really, really wise person, even going beyond the Hierophant now. Because the Hierophant is the one that maybe has to be out there proving something. So it almost feels like if this is the master, this is this is the master's master. This is the one that is in the up in the mountains in the cave, retired, but they've been that Hierophant, but they've transcended even that, you know. And so I think maybe it's kind of like the final bird cage that we get out of, right? And you know, maybe we never get there, and maybe it takes several lifetimes, or I don't know. But it's kind of like I'm trying to think of who it might be. Think of someone I don't even know, like a musical performer of some kind, right? That they've had this just incredible career, and they've become the absolute, you know, master of their craft, and then they sort of, it's almost like they fade away from our consciousness, because as the audience we don't see them anymore, but they have transcended even their sort of mastership, you know, and they've just sort of retired from the industry. I almost thought like Eminem was going that route, you know, just going behind the scenes, just then mentoring people and becoming the Hierophant, yes, but like out of the public eye, and then just sort of even retiring from that, you know. And Eminem even has a line in one of his songs about getting weird, growing a beard, and I don't know, retiring to the mountains or something like that. So maybe that's why I thought of him for the Hermit card at the end. But it's just, this is an interesting path for you. I want to look at the mystery card and check in with that. But I feel like this is a climb up the top of the ladder, and then we're breaking through even that. We're going beyond the beyond, right? Let's check the mystery card here. I think we've said what we needed to say about all of this air energy. I don't know what I'm going to do if this is going to be more air energy, though. Maybe it'll be another Hermit or Hierophant. I kind of think we should do an I Ching hexagram first. You want to? Yeah, let's do it. We'll do one hexagram from the I Ching, because these are the wise ones, right? These are the sages of the tarot. So let's see what the difference is between them, or how we can achieve one or the other, or both of those states. And I think it's sort of it's interesting to sort of understand that each one of these has light and shadow to it. Okay, because even the Hierophant is sort of singing for its birdseed. You know, the Hermit is the only one that has totally figured out a way to be free of that energy altogether, right? So here's our hexagram. Blocked, 12, blocked. Well, that's what we have, block, block, block. Okay? Blocking it, non-people, noble one's constancy bears no fruit. The great goes, and the small comes. Nothing moves or grows. Communication doesn't happen. Everything is negated and blocked. Perhaps others sabotage progress with a negative influence or no empathy. Even your brilliant ideas and best efforts come to nothing. Instead, focus on the smaller details of your immediate reality. What work can you do when nothing is working? Who are you when no one is noticing? What work can you do when nothing is working? Well, if we're sort of feeling right now that we're in this blocked sort of state, if maybe you're already experiencing some of these stagnant air energies, maybe it's really, let's just focus on those little things that we can do to clear this blockage, to clear out some of this air energy, and free our sort of inner hermit, you know, the blocked. And that's really what it is here. This is when the creative flow is blocked. This is when your progress gets blocked, right? It's just it's an even number, right? And the even numbers are those states that they're inactive, they're inert, right? We need something active here. Mystery card, something active, something to clear the blockage. Ace of Swords, ace, and any of the aces, I think. Or another 5, or the Chariot. Let's see what we have. Well, it's a Knight of Swords. And I think the Knight of Swords is perfect because it is active. It's a knight. It's fire, right? It's also the card that is looking at the future. It's kind of like, have a game plan. Know what the ladder is. Know kind of what your exit strategy is. Know whether or not you want to just be that Hierophant, if that's the highest achievement for you, or if you're looking at that Hermit and thinking, yeah, that's my ultimate goal, right? In some ways, it's kind of like this is you being very successful in your field or in your industry, and you want to do that for the rest of your life. You want to be here doing the work, or do you want to just do the work and sort of get as much as you can out of it and then retire? You know, it's kind of, this is somebody that maybe is going to be a professor or an actor or whatever for the rest of their lives. This is somebody that says, I know when I want to cash it in and go live my life somewhere privately, you know? And I think the Knight of Swords is about you looking into the future, because the Knights always look into the future, and realizing what that is, realizing what plan is yours. What is your exit strategy? What's your end game here? Okay, where do you want to be? What is your sort of your finish line in all this? Okay. Very interesting energy. My left ear just started ringing. I think we're on to something here. The Knight of Swords is looking at this Ten of Swords and kind of wondering, like, okay, which is the last set of bars that you want to have to deal with? Yeah. Always looking at the future, looking at the end results, the consequences of your actions, but looking at your sort of your end game, your exit strategy. All right. Very interesting reading, Cancer. I love this very much. We're going to do an extended reading as well. If you want to stick around, there's a link in the corner. There's one down below. New readings for Cancer, Tuesdays and Fridays. Be sure to watch both. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. It's totally free. Subscribe also to Dove and Serpent Bedtime Stories. Leave a comment for me. Let me know where in the world you're watching from. I want you to know that you're the most important part of Dove and Serpent Tarot. I thank you and I love you, and we're all in this together.